And of course, Game 3 is going to be on Wuthering Heights. For DinOt, Wuthering Heights has shown itself to favor the Protoss players. Zerg players have a very difficult time securing a third base. They really have problems defending it, and if they do put up a ton of defense just trying to hold that third base, Protoss basically puts up their third and fourth base and basically steamrolls them through the mid game. So we're going to have to see what DinOt can get done. We saw him do kind of a +1 Hydralisk all-in against Rondo, and that failed it worked really poorly, actually. So we're going to expect to see a better performance by him here in Game 3 against JF.
Yeah, it's interesting to note that that game versus Rondo, maybe that was a cheese that worked well for him in practice. Of course, a cheese being some sort of all-in attack where you really can't recover if it doesn't work. And, it failed pretty badly. So, of course, we probably won't see that again. But, it shows that he wants to cheese on this map. And in a Game 3, maybe that is the best choice. I'm not too sure.
We did see a Mondragon against Dreven. Mondragon opened up with Mutalisk, and it looked like that really worked out well. Of course, Mondragon ended up losing that game, but the opening looked really strong for Mondragon. And of course, in Game 1 of this particular series of DinOt opened up Mutalisk, and it looked really strong until he ate that second storm. So Mutalisk, quite a possibility here. We do know that DinOt favors Hydralisk. A lot of opportunity for various builds here. Let's stop talking about it and see what happens. Let's hit the video, Hotbit.
It's showtime.
Here we go. This is the Razer TSL round of 8, day 2. We have DinOt against JF. JF, of course, leading the series, 2 wins, 0 losses. So if he wins this game, he will be moving on to the top 4. Meanwhile, DinOt, we have him as Zerg top left. He's definitely going to want to show us more than he's shown so far. I mean, he really played quite impressively in both the games, but JF was just too much to handle for him this time. And we have JF bottom left Protoss. This is Wuthering Heights. A little bit favoring Protoss. So JF has definitely got to be a favorite between the play we've already seen and the map, to take this match out in a 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, I'm put in a very difficult position. Of course, JF is the only remaining Canadian, so I clearly want to cheer for him, but he is Protoss playing against a Zerg, so I want to cheer for DinOt. But I really think DinOt is going to show us something special here. He's got a lot to prove. Looks like he's not making an Overlord, so he is going to open up 9-pool. We're going to have to see if this is a 9-pool speed similar to last game, or if he's going to just use it to force JF to make cannons and then try to expand twice.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, is he going to all in? Is he going to try to play it straight up? Because we've seen, he can do either one, really. His macro is very strong. His all-ins are decently thought out. So what will he do? And it looks like he will be doing the 9-pool speed. Now, we saw on Blue Storm, he just made about 6 Zerglings, chased around probes and whatnot. And, that's particularly good on Blue Storm. But here, I'm not too sure if he wants to do the same exact thing, or, maybe he wants to make more Lings try to run by, something like that. But JF, he is getting that Forge first. He's going to scout DinOt last, so he'll definitely have at least a cannon or 2 in time for those Zerglings.
Yeah, I think the run-by is particularly stronger here simply because the third base is so far away. You'd either have to expand to the 12 o'clock or to the main, which is across the entire map at top right. Blue Storm lets you 9-pool and then take 2 bases, which basically share the same defense, other than the little run-by area in the natural. We see DinOt is making 6 Zerglings and now is making a drone, so it looks like he's gonna just do the same thing, deny scouting. And JF's magical probe timing runs right by after the Zerglings move out, but unfortunately DinOt has left a Zergling behind, but it lets the probe by, wow. And that probe is going to come in and see exactly what's up. It's going to see the geyser, it's going to see that there's Zerglings out, it's going to see that there's drones hatching. He's going to know everything that's up. 2 cannons take out 2 Zerglings. That's really, really unfortunate for DinOt. If he was going to do some sort of run by, he needs every one of those Zerglings he can get. We see he's putting up his natural, so he is kind of getting ready to do more of a standard play, I think. He is mining gas again, so that is important to note. Is it going to be a Hydralisk all-in, or is he going to go layer off 2 bases? I don't know.
You know, that is interesting, and now after making a couple more drones after those initial Zerglings, he is hatching actually more Zerglings out of his main hatchery. And will this probe see those Zerglings? He rallies them into his minerals to try to keep the probe from seeing it, but the probe gets over there. Probe does see, so JF knows something's up for sure, and the layer starts right after. So he has about 8 Speedlings right now, and the second base warping in, and he's getting a layer. So what exactly is DinOt going to do? We don't know, but it is a little bit all-in-ish here. You know, we may be seeing maybe some sort of extremely quick drop, extremely quick Hydralisk all-in, something like that. Maybe a 2-hatchery Muta. But JF, he's going to want to play this extremely safely. Of course, he doesn't know for sure there's a layer yet, but he did see the drones mining gas, so that definitely means to him either there's going to be a quick layer or there's going to be some sort of really quick Hydralisk 2-hatchery all-in.
You see JF has started his Cybernetics core. It's about 50% done. JF also snuck out his scouting probe into the middle, but this time DinOt has 2 Zerglings blocking that, so he's not going to let that happen. Let the probe in again. We see the layer is almost complete, and the Hydralisk den is about half done. So it's going to be clearly some sort of lurker build, but is it going to be lurker drop or just some sort of lurker all in to try to break the cannons? I'm not sure. JF has added a 3rd cannon as natural, smelling some sort of all in aggressive build. Drop is researching out of the layer, so it is going to be a lurker drop. Actually, Hydralisk speed coming out of the Hydralisk den. So some sort of Hydralisk drop? Really confusing build by DinOt. I'm really excited to see what happens. JF has Stargate coming, so he's opening Bisu, and that Corsair is going to be able to get into his main and see what DinOt's up to.
And you know, if he's getting that drop before speed, it means he's going to be using this Overlord that's right over the base here of JF. So if that Corsair finds that Overlord and kills it right away, then that is going to be painful. And we see also DinOt positioning an Overlord to the right of JF's natural. So DinOt is getting into position now. He's definitely going to be doing some sort of drop. And it's interesting, of course, that he's getting the Hydralisk speed, because, of course, a Hydralisk speed drop, that isn't a strategy I think any of us have heard of before. But, you know, with the micro we've seen out of DinOt here today, maybe this is some sort of special strategy that he has that he knows how to make it work in this situation. You know, something really strange like that against a relatively young player like JF. He may not have seen anything like that before, and it may give DinOt a nice little edge here.
So the first Corsair is out. It misses the western Overlord. We can see there's also an Overlord at the southeast of JF's natural. So he's got 2 Overlords positioned. The Corsair ignores all the Overlords. It just wants to get in and see what's going on in here. We can see Hydralisk range is upgrading now, and drop has just completed. And DinOt has loaded 4 Hydralisks in this western Overlord, dropping them into the main. This is pretty much the strangest build I've ever seen. But we only see 2 Zealots, 3 Zealots now for JF, and a ton of cannons at his natural. So he's clearly fearing lurkers. 4 Hydralisks now dropped into the main. Let's see what these can get. The Overlord is coming back for more Zerglings, loading them up. The Hydralisks are now in. JF has to be a little confused once he sees there's 4 Hydralisks in his base, not knowing what the heck's going on. We can see 8 Zerglings now dropped in, and this is going to come down to micro. If DinOt loses these Hydralisks and Zerglings, he is going to lose his shot at the TSL. He's going to lose this game and be eliminated. But it looks like JF is backing off, waiting for more units. He has a Dark Templar out now, and Overlord speed not started for DinOt. The Overlord is dropping in 4 more Hydralisks. This is the wildest build. I cannot get over how weird this build is. But the Overlord is coming in. Dark Templar now trying to hack up those Zerglings, but the Overlord will join with DinOt's army and help him kill this Dark Templar. JF trying to warp in cannons at his natural. Excuse me, that's a pylon, not a cannon. He's trying to warp into robotics. It looks like his main is going to get carved out, and I cannot believe this is working. DinOt is now researching Overlord speed, and it looks like he's going to carve out JF's main and take a commanding advantage in this game.
This is an absolutely wild build. We have seen DinOt come up with really strange strategies, and total kudos to him. Look at this. I mean, he is going to take out this Nexus. These speed Hydras really helped him out microing against the slow Zealots with the probes. And so, I mean, this is an awesome all-in strategy. I think JF has probably never, ever played against something like this, and it is working so well. All of JF's tech just being absolutely destroyed. JF adding cannons to his natural. He's probably scratching his head right now thinking what's going on. And meanwhile, we have some DTs in the main of DinOt, but oh, DinOt catches that really quickly. It looks like he'll only lose a couple Hydras to them. The DT running around trying to find some way to attack, try to get him back into the game, because DinOt has definitely pulled into the lead here. The DT does run out. The Overlords are spaced too well here, and he realizes, you know, I've got to get that out of here. I've got to preserve every little thing. Meanwhile, we have down at the natural of JF, it looks like DinOt's going to attack into it. Pretty bad move. There's too many cannons there, DinOt. Back off, buddy. But no, he is attacking. Look at this. He's taking out 3 of the cannons, it looks like. Yep, he gets 3 of the cannons. Now he just has 1 single Hydra sitting there, but the Zealot looks like it will come in and clean that up. So JF, this is a painful spot for him. He does not have much room there that is guarded. He's adding that Cybernetics core on the right. He only has 1 gateway. He has the Forge, +1 almost done. He has the gas going, but I mean, he has nothing in terms of tech at all whatsoever. This is a very hard spot to come back from.
So DinOt has not added any further tech. He's adding a hatchery at his natural. He's not researching lurkers. He has both drop and speed. Looks like he's just trying to break the natural straight up with Hydras. But there is a ton of cannons there right now. JF warping in another cannon at the bottom right of his natural. DinOt moving in with just a few Hydralisks. Looks like 8 Hydralisks. Or is he moving into the bottom right to kill this probe? He does not want to let JF get another expansion. He's now loading up for another drop. There's only a single cannon guarding the bottom right of this natural of JF. If DinOt ferries in a bunch of Hydralisks, this could break actually the probe line. Looks like JF realizes it, moving in some Zealots. The cannon's going to get taken out, but the Zealots are now going to clean up the Hydralisks. DinOt trying to ferry in more and more Hydralisks. Of course, JF only has 1 gateway, so his production is limited. He's not even trying to make a Zealot at this point. 4 more Hydralisks dropped in. Zealots taking them out. Looks like DinOt may want to give up on that idea, because that's not working out. And we're just going to have to see how this follows up. He's got an evolution chamber, nothing researching in it. And it seems like I missed a DT in the NAT. I just see drone blood everywhere. It's hidden at the top right of the NAT. It has 9 kills. That has actually cleaned up the entire natural of DinOt. Wow. It's little plays like this that JF has to do to get back in this game. We can see he has kind of evened up the supply count. 31 for Protoss, 27 for DinOt Zerg.
That was a quick turnaround. You know, DinOt got a little bit ahead of himself there, dropping those Hydras right onto 3 Zealots. The Zealots, of course, when nothing is microed, the Zealots just rip into Hydralisks with far fewer hit points, far less damage. So not too smart a move there by DinOt. It looks like he got a little bit overconfident. And in the meantime, that DT, I mean, that was just so big. DinOt is sitting on 2 bases. Right now, JF's economy is probably even better than DinOt's. But we do see that DinOt does have those 3 hatcheries now. He's hatching a lot of drones. He realizes he needs to replace that economy. And that's exactly what he's doing here. Now we see that DinOt is morphing some lurkers and doing some more drops. Oh, look at this. He's dropping some Hydras into the old main of JF. Looks like he will pick off this robotic support bay. It was not placed that well. But JF does start up 1 Reaver ahead of time. So he will get that Reaver, hopefully, before before he dies. That'll be able to help him hold off anything that DinOt does. But really, he has clawed his way right back into this game. Neither player has very good economy, and JF has, he's getting his tech back. He's got the Corsairs making. He's remaking that robotic support bay, but it looks like the robo facility itself may in fact go down.
And the Zealot's trying to move in, but of course we've all seen the micro of DinOt. It's ridiculous. Those Hydralisks are not going to get taken out. This is going to be a photo finish on the robotics facility. More a lurker being dropped. It looks like the Reaver is going to finish. Robotics facility at 100. Is the Reaver going to get out? It gets out! Wow! And the robotics immediately goes out after the Reaver gets out. JF now throwing up Scarabs into that Reaver. Wow, and the Reaver is going to help him defend. JF's Forge is getting cut up by lurkers. Not that big a deal for him. JF is out of building room, now building his robotics in his mineral line. This is the wildest situation I've ever seen, pretty much. We've got a Spire coming up for DinOt. Going to be interesting to see if he switches into Mutilus or if those are just for Scourge against Corsairs and the shuttle that the Reaver's going to be in.
And you know, he lost that shuttle. The shuttle moved forward a little bit, you know, while he was frantically microing, and DinOt, being very smart, picked it right off. Very strong move there. And as you said, JF, he just has no room left. He's going to lose his forge now, so he really can't rebuild it, which is quite painful. And, you know, he's just... what is he to do from here? DinOt is starting to take the map all over the place. You know, JF is scouting around with the Corsair, but in the meantime, DinOt taking that 12 o'clock mineral-only base. He's got a lot of Hydras at home. His economy's looking very good. He's got plenty of room to build. No worries about that. So JF just kind of stuck in his base. He's going to probably want to pop out a shuttle pretty quickly here to try to get something done with this Reaver to claw back into the game. But DinOt definitely looking in a commanding position here. His supply all the way up to 58, and JF's down at 38 still. That's funny places to see supplies. You know, we're about 14 minutes into the game. So a really strange game. It looks like DinOt right now, he's massing up, trying to pick things off with lurkers, and you know, I don't know if he's going to try to bust these cannons or not, but he had better be careful because this Reaver can really mess up those Hydras.
So we've got a shuttle coming out of the second robotics facility, actually the third robotics facility in this game. JF has lost it twice, and we've got shuttle speed coming out of the robotics support, a good decision. I mean, what else can JF do in this position other than hope to get lucky, or not lucky, but hope to get a ton of drone kills with his Reaver drop. Unfortunately, DinOt has him completely surrounded with lurkers, overlords, Hydralisk, so he will be able to see the shuttle moving out. The shuttle drops a Zealot to pick off this Hydralisk, tries to move out to the east, and DinOt really is just massing up. He's got a ton of Hydralisk at his natural. He's also taking the 12 o'clock base, and of course JF really is going to have to do something to either get his main back or to get a bunch of kills. The Reaver and the shuttle is moving out with the Corsairs towards 12 o'clock. DinOt looks to intercept it with a huge army. JF sees it quickly. JF does not lose shuttles, as Artosis has mentioned, and he's now moving towards the east. Looks like he's going to try to either drop 12 o'clock or run around into the main, but I mean, even if this does a ton of damage, it just doesn't seem like it's possible for JF to get back into this game.
Indeed, this is a nearly hopeless situation for JF. I mean, he is a master of shuttle harass, but what are you going to do? DinOt has the map. He has total map control. He has a ton of units. And here we go, a Reaver drop up at 12, takes out that Hydralisk, but there is Scourge flying around. There are a ton of speed Hydras all over the map with their range. And if he even can keep this shuttle alive, I'd be surprised. And no, it flies over the Hydras, and they take it out. And that is going to be just about it for JF. He is just so far behind at this point. DinOt with about twice the supply of JF. It's about 80 to about 40 right now. And JF, he's just so out of build room. I mean, he's pumping out some more Reavers. And yeah, GG. DinOt takes a game, and it is now 2-1 JF's lead.
Wow, what a strange series and what a strange game. I'm not losing convincingly on Blue Storm, and then winning convincingly with pretty much the strangest build I've ever seen. A slow drop, speedy Hydra, range Hydra drop. Just a wild game, and of course he won that on a Protoss favored map. So, I mean, just a crazy series, and we'll see if DinOt can carry this momentum into the fourth game.
Oh, he's definitely going to want to carry this momentum. I'm very excited, I got to tell you, to see what kind of build he's going to have for us in this next game.